One thing that all Americans would agree on is that nobody likes paying taxes. Let's face it. I think it was Ben Franklin said that the only things certain in life, though, are death and paying taxes. So we have to pay taxes. But probably the most unfair tax is the property tax. And part of the problem is it's always going up. If it's not your county commissioners, it's your school board, or it's your borough council, township supervisors, city council. It just seems like in any given year your taxes are going up. It's always amazing, and you're incredibly lucky if you go for a year where the taxes aren't raised. However, probably the most unfair thing about the property tax is there's no real standards in terms of your property being assessed or particularly reassessed. And in Pennsylvania, what tends to happen is that whenever they go for long periods of time when properties between reassessments. So what happens is you develop sticker shock if you haven't had your property developed or reassessed in 10, 15, 20 years. Well, naturally it's going to go up quite a bit, and then people get upset. A lot of times officials end up getting thrown out of office, which then is even a further detriment for properties being reassessed, and it even goes longer. And Fayette County experienced this back from 1958 to 2003. There was not a reassessment in Fayette County during that time, and all sorts of problems developed, particularly where people who had just moved into their houses were being assessed a lot higher than people who had been living in their houses for long periods of time. So it was really unfair. The Herald-Standard did a number of stories trying to expose this unfairness, and eventually it did lead to reassessment in 2003, which I think a lot of people realized that something was needed. However, then back in 2009, there was another attempt at a reassessment, and this time circumstances were a little different. The economy was pretty bad, and people were very upset, and I think probably there was some panic out there. People didn't even want to go through the appeals process, and it was ultimately shelved. So without, though, these standards or whatever, it's been very difficult. And there has been some talk. The state legislature did a study, and they looked at like training for assessors and trying to make the whole process more open and that sort of thing, which is all great, but they didn't come up with any kind of mandatory time where property should be reassessed. Unfortunately, this is the big question, and the legislature typically just punted it down the road. So now you have talk where the state legislators, including Tim Mahoney, Democrat from Uniontown, where they're proposing that the sales tax be used, expanded, and added in less reliance on the property tax. And while that's interesting, and that probably holds some possibility, you do have to consider the fact that the sales tax is very dependent upon the economy, and in a recession, obviously you're going to get less money, and that could turn out to be a big problem. Also, too, the sales tax is fairly regressive in the sense that poor people are going to pay the same tax on milk as rich people. So you kind of have to wonder a little bit about that. The property tax, the one thing you could say for it is that it is fairly stable. You know that the money is going to be there, so our school boards and municipalities, county, they can all plan with some assurance that the money is going to be there. So what is really needed is some kind of standard where the property is reassessed at a certain period of time, so then people would know, and you wouldn't have these drastic spikes in the property assessments. And the thing is if you look at Pennsylvania, all you have to do is look at Ohio. There they do it every 3 years. It's also done on a statewide basis. That way it eliminates competition between counties, and it's all uniform. It's done properly. And you have to think that if Pennsylvania, and they said in Ohio, there's very few problems with it. People were very happy with it. I mean, once again, no one's happy paying taxes, but at least you feel it's fair. And if Pennsylvania would look at this and go to a system similar to Ohio, you have to think that a lot of our problems with the current system would disappear. So we're going to take a break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At the Herald-Standard.com, our mission is to provide news, information, and services to enable our communities to prosper. Every day, we strive to achieve this goal through 3 dynamic products. Wake up each morning to a copy of the Herald-Standard.com newspaper delivered to your home. Enjoy the e-edition and exact replica of our print product on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Or secure unlimited access to our full-coverage digital news site online at Herald-Standard.com. One local news leader, 3 great options.
Welcome back to On the Mark, and we were talking about the state legislature and property taxes and how we feel that there needs to be standards where the property would be reassessed, say, like every 3 years, and also it would be statewide. So look forward to hearing what you have to say about this problem. If you want to email me with a letter to the editor or just some general comments, please feel free to O'Keefe@heraldstandard.com, or you can send me a letter, 8- care of Herald-Standard.com at 8-18 Church Street, Uniontown, Pennsylvania 15401. Please remember, if you are sending a letter to the editor, to please include your name and phone number. We do not print anonymous letters, and also we do call numbers, phone number, just to verify that you did write the letter. So look forward to hearing what you have to say on this issue and any other issues out there. Once again, I want to thank everyone for watching. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm Executive Editor for Herald-Standard.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.